so her development direction was exceptionally broad. Moreover, she was actually effectively treated after coming into contact with a ghostly thorn-bristle spider, which means that she has the power of money. Funnily, if it was him, he would definitely suggest she find a place to bury herself first. She told him that what she wanted wasn't there. Yuan stopped her from leaving. He told her that if she needed one for combat, then control and poison use were both popular types, and they both have exclusive traits. She argued that the exclusive traits of those two web-spraying spiders were too weak. She just wants to contract a spider-type spirit creature with strong control abilities. Yuan was dumbfounded that she considered those too weak. She clarified that it had nothing to do with the strength of those two, and she just wanted to grind for a web-spraying spider with the exclusive trait Transparent Web, even if she had to go the custom order route and buy a few elite-grade epic quality ones. Yen could tell that the girl was both rich and stubborn. Transparent Web was an extremely rare exclusive trait. Even with custom orders, if luck was bad, they might not get it even after grinding through 10 or 20 web-spraying spiders. But Yuan thought that he might be able to do it. He told her that he might be able to get it. He asked how many she wanted. She was offended and asked him if he thought she was innocent, cute, and gullible. She told him that even if he was a little handsome, she won't easily believe him. Yuan was getting annoyed, but he got sidetracked when it sank in that she said he was handsome. He was determined to get this order not because she has a sweet mouth, but because he can't bear to see this sick little girl continue to hit a wall everywhere. Yuan was just too kind. He told her to suit herself and maybe, eventually, when she grinds through 100 shops, she'd find the web-spraying spider that she wanted. She stopped him from walking away. He asked what she needed when she didn't trust him. She asked if he really has a way. He told her that if she doesn't trust his words, then there would really be no way. She suggested that they add each other on StarNet first, and if he managed to get the custom web-spraying spider, he would notify her to buy it. Yuan's technique earlier to retreat so he could gain advantage worked. He actually had rich experience dealing with this kind of customer, but he refused her suggestion and told her to come back when she wants to buy something. She acted cute and told him not to be angry. She explained, just saw that the shop didn't even have decorations and was afraid of being scammed. She insists that he adds her as a friend, and if he could customize it, she won't haggle over the price. Yuan eventually agreed to add each other first. They tapped their cards to each other. She finds his username funny. He read hers, which was Cloudstream, and uttered that shark eagles live there. She called him an idiot for actually calling her a sand sculpture. The banter kept going. Yuan had the upper hand when he pointed out that he's an important shop owner who's going to help her customize a web-spraying spider. She yelled at him to cut it out, and she highlighted that she's an important customer who's going to pay him money. She paid him 10 radiant coins, and not that was done, she would be waiting for his good news. Yuan couldn't believe how deep her pockets were. It was 2 radiant coins for one custom web-spraying spider, and she paid the full amount for 5 of them without even blinking. Smarty's eyes sparkled upon seeing so much money. He assumed that they wouldn't be short on money from then on. Yin Yin has always wanted the newest records and sound system. Yuan admits that it would be difficult because what he received was the deposit, and it would only arrive in the account after completing her custom requirements. Before that, the money would be held by official StarNet custody. However, Brother Yang just sent the final payment earlier so they have sufficient funds, and then he checked the cost of web-spraying spiders. To their surprise, the cost of 5 elite-grade web-spraying spiders alone is 1 radiant coin. Smarty asked why it suddenly dropped by almost a third. The 3.3 radiant coins Brother Yang hasn't even warmed up yet. Yuan thought about it, and if he goes the normal cultivation route, he doesn't know how much money he'll have to spend buying spirit materials. Now he knows why that braised egg girl gave 10 radiant coins so decisively. After seeing their financial status, Smarty became gloomy. He started to question if a small shop on StarNet could really earn back the capital. Yuan told him that now that they had an intelligent robot for the store, they don't need to worry about it as much. But he definitely has to be thrifty. He doesn't know how much more expenditure was needed to expand the storefront. Smarty was doubtful because before they left, not a single customer came, and the old model robot he brought looked stupid. He told him to look at the bright side. As long as they do a good job on Braised Egg Girl's order at least, they'll have a large amount of funds in the future. That didn't cheer Smarty. He looked defeated as he went upstairs to play with Yin Yin instead. Yuan assured him that he'll earn it back very quickly. He went to ask Mobius. He went to his space and asked if he's around because he wanted to talk about the spirit creature for his next stage of Lock Spirit. Mobius told him that it wasn't okay. He lectured him to spend money sparingly because resources were limited and they must strictly control it. Yuan agreed that money was important, but improving one's strength would also allow them to earn more and faster. Then he informed him that he already had considered the next spirit creature for his next stage of lock spirit, but he still wanted to hear his opinion. His target was a spirit siphon goldfish. Yuan didn't expect Mobius to be this easygoing. Mobius had no issue with the spirit siphon goldfish. However, he did warn Yuan that the spirit required for it to rank up was more than 10 times that of other spirit creatures at the same level. Yuan accepted this without hesitation. Although Yuan wasn't completely certain, he could vaguely sense that whenever his mental power weakened, Mobius would compress it to protect him. Because of that, Yuan felt responsible for finding a way to help Mobius recover as quickly as possible, and Mobius trusted him with that task. With that settled, Yuan activated the StarNet search function. He was immediately stunned. With just a simple search, rows of storefronts appeared around him, almost forming an entire spirit siphon goldfish street. Unfortunately, most of them only sold normal grade ones. What he really wanted were elite grade options, so he checked whether it was possible to directly filter for the highest level storefronts. After clicking a few settings, a massive store popped up. The shop was located about 800 meters in. The space inside was clearly compressed, likely for better display effects. The products were neatly arranged, complete with specialized interface introductions. The overall layout was impressive, worth studying. A woman approached him and asked what he needed. She offered to assist him personally, explaining that the shop employees were currently on leave. Yuan was pleasantly surprised to meet an actual person instead of an intelligent robot. The woman introduced herself as the shop's proprietress, Zhou Jiaxin. Yuan told her that he wanted to buy a spirit siphon goldfish. She nodded and led him toward the aisle. She showed him the pool containing all the normal grade ones. Regardless of breed, they were all priced at 0.5 radiant coins. The red goldfish, with a body more than twice the size of the others, was elite grade, priced at 5 radiant coins. Just as rumored, the spirit siphon goldfish really did recover spirit qi quickly. Simply standing near it made the surrounding qi noticeably denser. But the price made Yuan hesitate. Even a normal grade spirit siphon goldfish was more expensive than an elite grade web-spraying spider. It seemed his original plan of buying an elite grade one right away wasn't realistic. Seeing his hesitation, Zhou Jiaxin explained that the breeds on display weren't considered particularly good. Better breeds would cost at least 7 radiant coins or more. However, for normal grade goldfish, the price was the same regardless of breed. After all, evolving this creature was notoriously difficult, so very few creators were willing to take commissions for it. Yuan thanked her for the advice. He addressed her as boss, but she laughed and told him to just call her sister Shin. She then asked if he wanted to choose based on appearance alone. In terms of nurturing potential, Yuan knew he had to choose the Dragon Eye type. If it underwent atavism and awakened a dragon bloodline, it would be like a carp leaping over the dragon gate. Still, he wondered if he could really be that lucky again, like when the iron-horned rhino ox ranked up. He quickly dismissed the thought and refocused. His real plan was to test whether the lock spirit space could accelerate the goldfish's growth. If successful, the shop's core product would be secured. He pointed out his choice. Sister Shin took note and asked if he needed anything else. Yuan remembered that the water pool in the lock spirit space still needed testing for its spirit qi capacity. That led him to purchasing additional energy ores. She offered a discount if he bought in bulk, lowering the price to 500 Federation coins per caddy. Yuan decided to buy 2,000 caddies. She froze in surprise. Yuan asked if he could pay by directly scanning his star card. She confirmed that he could, and explained that Ostrich Logistics would deliver everything to his registered address. The sheer volume of the purchase made her assume she was dealing with a major client. She then mentioned that if Yuan was concerned about feeding the spirit siphon goldfish, she recommended butterfly shells. While relatively expensive, they were known for their miraculous effects in promoting spirit creature growth. Yuan thanked her for being so considerate. Yuan felt a sharp sting as his last bit of radiant coins disappeared. Still, this supply should be enough to feed the spirit siphon goldfish for 3 to 5 months. She suggested that they add each other as StarNet friends. That way, if he needed anything in the future, he could contact her directly. As long as he could pay the price, she could source it for him. Yuan replied that it would be an honor. He was genuinely glad. Rare materials were always scarce, and being able to order them directly would save him a lot of trouble. He was about to say something when she beat him to it, already guessing that he would need more energy ores, butterfly shells, and a few more spirit siphon goldfish. Yuan confirmed it, adding that inferior-grade energy ores would be sufficient. Higher-grade energy ores contained purer spirit qi, while inferior ones were usually only suitable for nurturing normal or elite-grade spirit creatures. Still, The sheer scale of Yuan's consumption made her curious just how large his spirit creature breeding base was. Deep down, she believed that heaven rewarded those who persevered. If she could secure Yuan as a long-term client, her shop would enjoy a steady stream of orders. To strengthen her competitive edge, she came up with an idea. She offered him special services reserved for long-term customers. Yuan immediately became interested. She explained that not only could the shop acquire a portion of the spirit creatures produced by long-term clients, but they could also provide heavily injured spirit creatures. These were guaranteed to be fresh, high-quality spirit materials. Yuan's eyes lit up. He asked when the next batch would arrive. She told him it would be in 3 weeks, and that she would notify him via StarNet if anything changed. By then, Yuan's capital flow should be stabilized, so he saw a lot of potential in this arrangement. Only then did he realize he had been in the shop for quite a while, yet no other customers had entered. It puzzled him. This place was too good to be empty. She explained that today was the match of the sequence 100 Suns, held at the radiant stairway of the Starry Sky Tower. Whether shop clerks or customers, most people had gone to watch. Yuan asked if it was the Violet Thorn's 100 Suns. She shook her head and said it was something even bigger, the Radiant 100 Suns of the Radiant Federation. After that, Yuan left the shop. She assured him that the goods would be delivered soon. He couldn't believe the match had already started. He quickly checked ticket availability, hoping there were still high-platform seats left. He didn't want to miss it. His steps quickened. He was eager to see what the strongest combat professionals of the Radiant Federation's younger generation looked like. He also wondered just how large the gap was between them and Shaoqi. The event venue was located at a high elevation, and even from outside, the cheers were deafening. Yuan couldn't help wondering why there were still areas inside the StarNet that required climbing stairs. By the time he reached the top, he was visibly tired. Luckily, high-platform tickets weren't restricted. Hearing the crowd roar, he grew curious about who they were cheering for. That was when he spotted Cloudstream, the bee-girl, cheering enthusiastically. She heard someone call out to her and turned her binoculars. When she realized Yuan was standing right beside her, she casually commented that his face looked huge. Yuan told her to put the binoculars down first. Cloudstream argued that there was no rule saying she couldn't cheer for both sides at the same time. No matter who won, she'd be happy either way. Then she asked Yuan who he was supporting. Yuan copied her logic and said that he supported both of them. That answer immediately pleased her. She laughed and said that Yuan, whom she knew as Deep Mountain Old Forest, clearly had good taste as well. Yuan reasoned that both combat professionals were outstanding. Of course, the real reason was simpler. He had no idea who either of them were. Her excitement peaked and she suddenly grabbed his hand. Only then did she realize what she'd done. She quickly pulled away, clicking her tongue in embarrassment. Yuan felt slightly offended. After all, she was the one who grabbed him first. To make up for it, she handed him a telescope so he wouldn't miss a single detail of the battle. Just listening to commentary wasn't enough, she said. Yuan happily accepted it and thanked her. He realized that even though she was a bit awkward, she wasn't that bad. Through the telescope, he noticed that the two sides had completely different combat styles. What caught his attention the most were the healing-type spirit creatures. Cloudstream asked who he thought would win. Yuan said that the sequence member with the higher rank should have the advantage. On top of that, both sides were already using gold-rank spirit creatures. The short black-haired woman with red streaks stepped forward. Her bear-like spirit creature raised its palm and unleashed a molten lava palm strike. A burst of flames surged forward and completely engulfed the opposing spirit creature. The calm, long-haired woman responded immediately, commanding her hibiscus snow tree to use snow cold on the ice soul grass. With that, the hibiscus snow tree dispelled the flames, and the lava bear's rapid assault was largely neutralized. The short, black-haired woman with red streaks quickly realized that the opponent's teamwork was hard to break. Still, she wasn't about to back down. She ordered the lava bear to use burst charge to restrain the hibiscus snow tree. The beast rushed forward, flames roaring around its body. Its claws came crashing down, blasting the ground apart around the enemy. Yuan was impressed by the sheer ferocity of the offense. Cloudstream explained that Lady Shiranui was a power assault-type spirit chi professional, while Lady White Devil specialized in healing. Naturally, Lady Shiranui had an advantage in raw pressure. However, there was no need to worry, because in terms of sequence ranking, Lady White Devil was much higher. Lady White Devil's real name was Daisy. Her nickname was White Devil, and she held sequence rank 18. She quickly healed the hibiscus snow tree and suppressed the lava bear's momentum. Lady Shiranui, whose real name was Anna, was ranked 47. She was impressed. She hadn't expected Daisy to still have enough energy to stabilize both spirit creatures under such an aggressive assault. But her attack wasn't meant to end in just one wave. Under the relentless pressure of the twin bears, the hibiscus snow tree could only defend passively. The crowd began to wonder if the balance of victory was starting to tilt. The war of attrition dragged on for half a quarter hour. Anna taunted Daisy, pointing out that her spirit key reserves were clearly struggling. This made Yuan wonder, despite the higher sequence rank, was a healing type really at a disadvantage against a power assault type? Daisy calmly responded that the gap between sequence 18 and 47 wasn't as simple as Anna thought. She activated Snow Cold. Her spirit creature's aura flared violently. She followed up by commanding the Ice Soul Grass to use Extreme Cold Seal. The lava bear roared as it was trapped within layers of ice. Anna was genuinely impressed. Even after fighting for that long, Daisy could still unleash such a large-scale move. Both lava bears were frozen solid, but the hibiscus snow tree and ice soul grass didn't look much better either. Cloudstream grew nervous. Even though Lady White Devil had countered and stopped Lady Shiranui's assault, that kind of seal wouldn't last forever. Once it broke, Lady Shiranui would immediately counterattack. Yuan, however, knew things weren't that simple, because White Devil was a healer. Just as he expected, Daisy summoned the Revival Butterfly and activated Wings of Revival. Her spirit creature's vitality surged back. The audience gasped. Their injuries were restored almost instantly. While not fully healed, they had clearly regained combat capability. Anna laughed in disbelief. Still, she declared that she would be the one to win. Then, unexpectedly, her spirit creature broke through, evolving into a platinum-rank flowing flame giant bear. Daisy admitted that she hadn't anticipated such a dramatic breakthrough. But it didn't shake her resolve. Instead, she released red butterflies. They spread throughout the entire arena. Anna sneered, saying that no matter what Daisy tried, she wouldn't be able to break her flowing flame critical strike, a technique combining offense and defense developed specifically to counter her. Daisy didn't respond. She simply let the butterflies attack. They pierced straight through the giant bear's body. The flowing flame giant bear threw its head back and let out a pained roar, blood spraying as the delayed damage finally erupted. Anna froze in shock. Seeing her spirit creature fall, she dropped to her knees as the host announced the victor, Lady White Devil Daisy. She earned a Stairway Glory Star. With a bitter smile, Anna admitted that she hadn't expected the Revival Butterfly to evolve into a fantasy breed at gold rank. She acknowledged her loss without excuses. Daisy smiled and extended her hand. She explained that it was no longer a Revival Butterfly. After evolving into a fantasy breed, it had become a Calamity Butterfly. She encouraged Anna to cheer up, reminding her that the audience was watching. The crowd erupted in cheers. Cloudstream excitedly shook Yuan, saying that Lady White Devil was insanely cool. And even though Lady Shiranui lost, as expected of someone who commanded bears, her offense was explosive and unforgettable. Yuan quietly reflected that his sister's battles at school were nothing compared to what he had just witnessed. For the first time, he truly understood the strength of the Radiant Federation's top young combat professionals. It was time for Cloudstream to say goodbye. Before leaving, she reminded Yuan not to forget her web-spraying spiders. Yuan still couldn't get over how terrifying a fantasy breed was. A gold-rank healing-type spirit creature had actually crossed ranks and defeated a platinum-rank combat-type spirit creature. The rune in his hand was the key to allowing a spirit creature to evolve into a fantasy breed. And coincidentally, it was most compatible with healing-type spirit creatures. However, the only healing-type spirit creature he currently possessed was Lily Luara. He knew it was still too early to worry about that. Just then, he suddenly heard Yin Yin muttering poetic nonsense like, "Starry sky, sprinkling down lonely light, silence guarding faint hope, stumbling all the way, unable to see the distance clearly, yet refusing to let go of the desire buried deep in the heart." Yuan went to his room and asked what they were doing, since he could clearly hear them from downstairs. The two were startled. Smarty immediately switched tabs and scolded Yuan for not knocking. Yuan didn't understand why he had to knock on his own room. That only made him more curious about what they were hiding. Smarty was sweating bullets as he explained that Yin Yin was just practicing singing and he was helping her find sheet music. Yuan told Smarty to make some room. He needed to look up some information. Yin Yin whispered to Smarty, confirming that Yuan hadn't noticed anything. Smarty replied that it was fine, saying he had closed the computer fast enough and that the account had been registered secretly, so Yuan wouldn't find out. Yuan read about the requirements to promote a copper rank spirit creature to legendary quality. At the very least, C rank spirit key was required. Otherwise, he would just put the 2 web-spraying spiders up for auction online. They would still sell for a decent price. Just then, someone rang the doorbell, so Yuan went downstairs. It was Ostrich Logistics. Courier 457 had delivered the goods Yuan purchased on StarNet right on schedule. The senior courier urged his rookie partner to hurry up and move the valuable items. Smarty grew curious. Yuan casually explained that it was all for the store's future development. The girl carried several boxes while introducing herself as Ah Neng, then quickly corrected herself, saying she was Rookie Courier 3451. Seeing that she was holding the boxes improperly and that they were about to slip, Yuan stepped in and offered to carry them instead. The fishbowl on top suddenly tipped over. Smarty lunged to catch it. He caught the bowl, but water splashed all over his face. He hurriedly checked whether the fish was still inside. Fortunately, Yin had already caught it. The senior courier immediately scolded the rookie for almost causing an accident. She apologized sincerely. Yuan waved it off, saying it was fine. Everyone slipped up sometimes. Meanwhile, Smarty was drooling as he stared at the fish. Seeing the boxes piled up inside the shop, Yin was amazed. Smarty asked if they were opening an ore farm. Yuan explained that only by expanding the scale could they increase profits. He also couldn't help noticing how strong the new courier was. Being able to move 2,000 caddies of energy or into the room was no small feat. Even with spirit key reinforcement, training to that level from a young age was still impressive. Yuan told them to go upstairs and play, while he entered seclusion for cultivation. He also informed Smarty that all the materials from the knowledge chip had already been uploaded to his StarNet account, so he should hurry up and start studying. Smarty replied that he understood and grabbed the biscuits before leaving. Yuan activated the lock spirit. Next, it was time to level up the fish. An hour later, the fish no longer fit inside the fishbowl. Yuan realized that the spirit key consumed to advance from normal grade to elite grade was several times that of the green creeper. Yet the spiritual power feedback he gained was roughly the same. Now it made sense why the spirit siphon goldfish was infamous for being difficult to raise. He wondered how he was supposed to move that much more spirit key into the lock spirit space. 2 days later, the fish was transferred into a large spirit transformation pool where it could move freely. Mobius complained that he was jealous. Unlike him, the fish wasn't lonely. And unlike him, Mobius was constantly being interrupted for no reason. Yuan dumped more energy ores into the pool while telling Mobius that he hadn't helped at all. Over the past few days, Yuan had personally moved more than 1,000 caddies of ore. Mobius retorted that he was still in a spirit body state. Yuan had finally reached the limit. The spirit key concentration inside the lock spirit space was fully saturated. If Mobius wanted to increase it further, he would have to wait for the next advancement. Mobius replied that as long as he could continue evolving, the upper limit would keep rising. At the moment, it was probably only about 5 times higher than the outside world. Yuan watched as the spirit siphon goldfish continuously absorbed spirit key from the space. He had high hopes for it. It was destined to become the shop's future signature product. Still, it would be even better if it could awaken a dragon species bloodline. He had specifically chosen the Dragoneye breed for that reason. Mobius reminded him that it would require dragon beast blood, which would be extremely expensive. Yuan agreed. The biggest issue right now was still money. The only solution was to rapidly level up spirit creatures and earn the price difference as fast as possible. He brought out several boxes, prompting Mobius to ask what they contained. Yuan revealed that they were the web-spraying spiders. The sales of elite-grade green creepers had been decent, but he still needed products with more distinctive traits. Mobius asked why the spiders had to be moved into the lock spirit space to level up. Yuan explained that the spirit Kui transformation speed inside the lock spirit space was also 5 times faster than outside. With that, he got to work. The spider's quality was successfully raised to epic grade. Yuan was relieved. Upgrading them to epic grade had only taken a little over 2 hours. Outside, it would have taken at least a dozen. Just then, he received a message on his phone. As expected, one spider was priced at 1.1 radiant coins, while the other reached 1.3 radiant coins. Encouraged, Yuan planned to put the remaining 2 up for auction as well. His immediate goal was simple: earn his first small target. Mobius commented that Yuan was slowly turning into a money grubber. Then another notification popped up. Yuan had received a 500 Federation coin tip from Lord Sun Lin, along with a message encouraging him to keep up the good work and maintain daily live streaming. Yuen was baffled. Since when could a StarNet shop receive tips? Then it clicked. He rushed upstairs where he could clearly hear Yin Yin singing.